We moved to HJT, which so here is a basically this is a
That's the latest. That's the latest and the newest and the most current.
this is
Um,
the most advanced. Well, the interesting piece about HJT is HJT has been around since the early 2000s. It was originally manufactured by Sanyo. That was their HIT product. They copywrote it as HIT, so that's why no one says HIT. But the Sanyo product was using HJT as well as the product from Panasonic bought Sanyo.
yeah,
And if you remember, they used to be very powerful products, but they were
yep,
also twice as expensive as everything else.
I heard it.
REC figured out a way to make the HJT cell without the excessive costs, and also came up with a new type of interconnect. So, and this again is for our desire for more watts peak. But you can see what it comes down to is it's basically a sandwich. You've got a N mono cell in the middle there, and then you've got a silicon layer that goes on top of the N-mod on the top and the bottom of that cell, which now increases the spectral response of that cell. So the cell now can see is responsive at the regular N mono wavelengths, but also the amorphous silicon on the bottom and the top of the cell. It also responds to those wavelengths. So you've increased the spectrum that your overall cell is responsive to. So, and one of the good parts about this is that it has increased the sensitivity on the long end of the spectrum. So around 1200 nanometers, that's where your red light is. And if it's turning that red light into energy, watts, not temperature. So it's not dropping this. So what it does is that infrared light comes in, hits the cell, they turn that into current as opposed to heat, which brings down this.
Is this the difference that it results in?
And this is one of the differences here. So this is a really good, this is an annual production of an array. This is an 8 kW array in Palm Springs. But you can see that the energy yield, because we've got more energy, is being transferred into more photons are turning into current as opposed to heat. And so, yeah, this shows a higher production because we have a better thermal coefficient for our product. And that's one of the benefits of HJT. So if you compare this to other products out there, lots of people are looking at, well, what is the bifacial rate? If you look at the way that the product is made, you can see it's like almost a perfect sandwich. So the bifaciality rate of an HJT product is almost 95%, where if you compare that to TOPCon and even PERC, if they try to make a bifacial product, they will work as bifacial products, but the bifaciality is lower for these other products. And that's just cell architecture. Your efficiency is significantly higher. The degradation, again, by protecting your products, also having an N mono product, your first year degradation is going to be very low. Annual power degradation.
And that's incredible. So I'm looking at that. That's 0.25%. So
right.
Do you guys then write warranties that promise like 93% plus at year 25?
92%.
92? Okay.
92%
Wow.
at 25 years, which is just, I mean, if you think about that, 25 years of nameplate value, or 92% of nameplate value after 25 years is just incredible. I mean, what's out there that's going to last 25 years and also be able to provide 92% of that nameplate power after 25 years? Just incredible. And we have things coming in from the field that are showing. So this has been one of the benefits of being an early adopter of HJT. We started making it in 2019. We have got products out there in the field that we do comparative energy yield analyses, and we've got products in the field, and they're meeting this, degrading significantly less than this 0.25%. So just a really fantastic product out there with respect to annual degradation. And part of that is due, again, as mentioned earlier, to this temperature coefficient, because it's turning more photons into energy as opposed to heat. So you're keeping your product cheaper, or you're keeping your product cooler. And everyone, I think we all know that, as solar panels have a negative temperature coefficient. As the temperature goes up, their performance goes down. But the contra to that is also true. As the temperature goes down, performance goes up. Sure. So they ultimately will operate very well on a cool, clear day.
One more thing I want to make sure we touch on is the micro cracks issue. I think this was the slide relating to that, right? Can you tell us a little bit about the benefits of HJT in the context of micro cracks?
This is a really good image. I'm really glad that we can share this, because I thought there was some secret sauce here, but I guess it's understood by the industry. The way that HJT cells, or the advanced interconnect cells, some people call it SmartWire, but SmartWire was trademarked by Meyer Burger, so everyone just says advanced interconnect. But you have connecting the cells. The cells are not connected by wires anymore. They used to be connected by interconnect ribbon. And there was, they started out with 2 ribbons, then went to 3, then went to 5. And it really started getting kind of, all over the place. We've moved away from that and gone to very, very fine conductor wires that are embedded in a carrier film.
Is this related? Is this slide related to what you're talking about?
Yes, this is exactly. So you can see a standard connections used these 5 bus bars. Yeah. Whereas the REC alpha pure cells used these very thin wires. They're in a carrier film. That carrier film it's a very thin, almost a cellophane. It's a TCO, a transparent conductive oxide. It's very thin. It's like the stuff that you used to the film that would wrap up DVDs, DVD packets, or the old cigarette pack for those that smoke cigarettes. But so these wires are carried in that, but they're all embedded in that. They're laid on the top of the cell, and then they're bonded electrically during lamination. It's a very low temp bonding. Yeah. So the thing here is you've got this extra layer of this transparent conductive oxide that goes over the front and the back of the cell. So that's providing another layer of protection. So you've got your cell, you've got your TCO layer, and then you've got your encapsulant on top of that, and then you've got your glass on top of that. So you have an extra layer of protection there. And what that does is provides a stronger bond between everything. So now it's a very strong lamination. The other piece is that these cells are thinner. And because they're thinner, they will bend more. They don't end up cracking. So what happens there is that you're more protected against any loads such as a installer walking across your rooftop, or hail, or things like that.